Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ClearSTEM Root Causes of Acne Masterclass with myself and Danielle and our special guest, Greta. We are so excited to have Greta on here. Greta is an incredible partner of ClearSTEM and honestly has just become such a friend of the brand. We've done so many fun things together already, photo shoots, campaigns, events, etc. And it's just been really special. We always choose to work with people with ClearSTEM that really just embody the ClearSTEM mission and values. And we really see so much of the values that we love and respect in Greta. And she's had the most incredible skin and just confidence journey as well. And so we wanted to be able to deliver this incredible masterclass to Greta's community. And yeah, these are always so much fun so much fun for us. So we look forward to presenting this, but also just having a really fun time in the chat with you guys.
Yeah, it's the perfect amount of people for us to like really talk to everyone. And those are my favorites. Yeah.
Me too.
Yep. Yep. Okay, cool. I would actually love a pulse check on how familiar most people are with the brand. I know we've got a couple like VIP customers that we like know their names, but I'm making the assumption that most of the people coming in from Greta's community might not know anything about ClearStem. So on that note, I'll just start from the top and we'll get super granular on our story.
And then
Um,
really quick, Danielle, sorry, we just want to announce the giveaway really quick.
oh
So,
yeah,
so at the end, we're going to announce some giveaway winners, but we're giving away 2 ClearStem facials at Spencer's Spa, which is in New York, and then also giving away some of Greta's favorite products. And if you're not in New York, we're going to be giving you away a collection of Greta's facial products. So no matter what, we're going to make sure that we pick giveaway winners from New York and not so. Yeah, we wanted to have a really fun giveaway. And with that said, we can kick it off now.
we love a giveaway.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Because clear skin changes everything. That is literally why ClearStem exists. Kind of like what we were talking about a little earlier, how that clarity, when your skin is clear and you have that clarity of your skin, it almost gives you clarity of mind because the noise about your skin is quieted for a while. And if you've ever battled acne, you know that it feels like the noisiest, like literally in your face because it's on your face, distraction to your life. And it really changes your psyche, how you show up. It changes what you think about things. Basically, it affects your whole life. And we went through that. And literally, ClearStem exists because we want everyone to live their best life without having to worry about acne, because clear skin really does change everything. So that is our big reason for being. So I am Danielle, the Acne Guru. I'm the co-founder and CEO and leading up our innovation, all of our product formulas. I am known as the Acne Guru, and that is because I I struggle with acne like you would not believe. It's been like a really dominant force in my life for over 20 years. I would say for like 25 years, my skin has been a little bit out of control. It does run in my family on both sides. There is a genetic component to acne. So it was on both sides of my family, grade 4 cystic acne into adulthood. Like literally, my dad is 80 and he will still break out on his back if he wears like an icky sunscreen. So I never stood a chance, right? So I was studying biology, genetics, and immunology when I was in college. I come from a family of scientists and I was fully going to go into medicine. I was really interested in dermatology. And I happened to have the biggest like acne flare up when I got to college. It was just the perfect storm of like the wrong birth control, starting to drink, starting to wear makeup, like eating crappy dorm food. It was literally the perfect storm. So my skin erupted, like cystic acne, face, neck, chest, back, the back of my thighs. Like it was really, really devastating. So I'm this biology student and I show up to my appointments, my doctor appointments, asking basic questions like, what should I be eating? What should I not be eating? You know, I notice if I have alcohol that my skin reacts differently. Why am I getting cystic acne on my neck? What could that be? You know, like pretty basic questions. And I couldn't get any answers. It was just prescription after prescription after prescription. So I was on multiple different types of birth control to control my hormones. I was on the wrong birth control a couple of times, which made my acne even worse. Yes, some birth controls can actually make your acne worse, right? So I went through that. I was on spironolactone for years, on and off antibiotics for years. The spironolactone, the dose I was on was so high, it literally made my hair fall out. I had all the symptoms, the GI symptoms from being on antibiotics for too long. And over the course of my 20s, I did Retin-A a ton. I couldn't tolerate it. I did Accutane 3 separate times. My acne came right back every single time. And we know now that that's from a couple things in my diet, but mainly it was from pore-clogging ingredients in the products I was using. But that conversation just isn't had when you're at a doctor appointment. So that's why I didn't even know about that until I decided to become an esthetician just to solve my own skin. I remember I was 29. The third round of Accutane had failed. Like my acne was coming back within 2 months. And I was like, screw this, I'll have to figure it out myself. So I was looking for classes like, hey, can I take a class on skin? Like, how do I get some information? And I wound up having to become an esthetician just to get access to information. So I was like, if that's what it takes, I will do it. So I enrolled in night school. And while I was there, I saw that treating acne was the medical profession I'd always wanted, but never knew existed. Because remember, I was studying biology to be pre-med, but because of what I was going through with my appointments and how frustrating it was, I decided I didn't want to join Western medicine. So full circle, 10 years later, I find myself in esthetician school just to solve my own skin and see that treating acne is like the dream medical, type profession that would have never occurred to me. So I never looked back. I left the corporate world. I learned under a lot of the top, like more seasoned estheticians in San Diego. I worked at a few med spas so I could learn everything about the treatments. And then I started San Diego Acne Clinic about 11 years ago. And I met Kayleigh as one of my first patients. Oh, you're muted, babe.
Sorry, you can get the next slide to say. So when I met Danielle, this was my skin on the left. So this was 10 years ago. I was in my mid-20s. I was 24 years old. I had just gotten off birth control. And within a matter of just a few months, my skin completely erupted and turned into the skin on the left. I had never dealt with aggressive acne before. I dealt with what you would call like traditional teenage acne, traditional like breakouts before your period, like in college, like breakouts from not eating super healthy or not getting enough sleep, but mainly just hormonal about like a week before my period. I considered it very normal. And so when this happened, I had no idea what to do when it came to skincare. I was studying at the time. I'm a nutritionist and integrative health practitioner. So I was putting myself through so many protocols. But at the time, again, this was 10 years ago, I didn't learn about any of this acne in school. I was even talking to some of my friends in the functional medicine space and the naturopathic space, and I was just getting a lot of different suggestions, but nothing super, super clear. So I spent about a year trying to solve it myself. Put myself through so many different dietary protocols, supplement protocols. Nothing seemed to be working. I had no idea what type of skincare to use whatsoever. I really only knew what marketing told me, what I could remember from like teenage acne of things that I used, like in 8th grade. And so I had purchased so many different products. I mean, I did the whole DIY thing where I'm like using apple cider vinegar on my face. I'm like using lemon and turmeric masks, like you name it, to drugstore brands, to like dermatologist approved, more like, buying it from a dermatologist office, to like $300 serums that promised it would cure my acne, and truly nothing worked. I tried every single acne line you could possibly imagine that was out there at the time. I tried. And I didn't want to have to go to the doctors just because I had a feeling, like, just based on talking to other friends, that I felt like I was just going to get handed a prescription. And I genuinely just want to know what was wrong with my body. I wasn't against prescriptions in any way. I could tell with it that bad. I really wanted to actually solve it because I felt like something was so wrong with my body. And back to the confidence conversation, like I did not want to leave my house during this period of time. I was packing on makeup, and I didn't go out to dinner. I didn't hang out with friends. I canceled I skipped a bachelorette trip. I didn't want to be seen at all. So after about a year trying to solve this myself, I thought, I guess I have no choice. I have to go to the doctor. So I went to multiple primary care doctors, multiple dermatologists, and I kept getting the same answer over and over again. Go on birth control, go on antibiotics, or go on Accutane. And I was crying in these offices. I was like, something is wrong with my body. Like, I understand you just want to prescribe me this, but like, what's wrong with me? Especially after like traditional blood work started to come back so normal. And I just kept getting the same answer over and over again. I don't know, just try it. And something just really didn't sit well for me. I really just wanted to figure out what was going on. I didn't want it to have to come back like that ever again in my life. I wanted to solve the actual root cause. And so one last Google search, thank goodness, because I was about to go on Accutane. One last Google search, up popped San Diego Acne Clinic. That's when I met Danielle. And that's when my whole world was turned upside down when it comes to acne. I'm a very disciplined and diligent person. So when Danielle went through all of my products, my supplements, dietary, told me what was breaking me out, like the biggest thing for me was using products that had pore clogging ingredients, because I was trying to do everything right internally, but I was just reclogging my pores. Another big one was over supplementing. There's very specific supplements that we'll talk about today that actually trigger a hormonal response and can actually show up in hormonal acne. And so I was making a lot of really common mistakes that actually no one knew about. And Danielle cleared my skin in a matter of 2 months. And truly, the reason why I don't have scar damage, I never did any aggressive skin treatments for scars, no lasers, anything. I was really using what is now our Cell Renew serum, but Danielle was working with a chemist at the time, and it was really only for her clinic patients. And I was using it religiously, and you can see like 2 months later is my picture in the middle. And then you can see how I have no scars on my skin now. And that was just from using the Cell Renew serum. And that was our first, that's what turned into our first product. So from there, Danielle and I thought we're really onto something here. No one is talking about the root cause of acne in this way. No one is really building a community and creating a safe space for people to feel seen and heard and understood, whether it's aggressive acne or just pesky breakouts right before that time of the month that you just don't want to deal with and you don't want to come around that one time a month. So on any scale of the breakout and acne scale, we really wanted to make sure people felt supported and had an acne checklist and knew what was actually causing the root cause of acne. And so that's what we're going to share today. We're going to share our root cause of acne checklist and really go through it with you all and share what are those internal triggers and what can you do.
Greta, why don't you tell everyone about you and tell your story?
Sorry, I had to find the unmute button. Okay, so hi everybody. This is so fun to be a part of this and to like be able to talk in real time and not like through TikTok. I found ClearStem when we started working together, and I switched over to their products before we had officially started working together. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like my skin, I wasn't at a place of like severe insecurity by any means. Like my skin was still pretty clear, but like I said, like I would get these pimples like once a month that would be like deep set in my cheeks, like very hormonal areas. And it would definitely affect my mood those weeks on top of, everything else going on during that time of the month. But when I started taking the supplement, I actually like have all my little products that I use every day, like right next to me right now. This is what was a game changer for me. And then on top of it, the face wash, because it was the first thing that I used that didn't strip my skin. I used to feel like when I would use a cleanser, like my skin would have to feel like squeaky clean. I don't know if that makes sense, but essentially like raw. And that would actually trigger, like my dermatitis like around my mouth. It would just make my skin kind of react. So switching to like a gentle cleanser also made a big difference. And then I just fell in love with the team. We've done so much fun stuff together over the summer. Um, they're very much community based, which I appreciate. And I've put like all of my friends onto the supplement and like different ClearStem products, and they've had nothing but the best things to say. So like that's why I'm like, this stuff, it works for everybody, not just me. Like there must be something here. And I was like, I'm also excited for this chat and call to also learn more myself.
All right. So ClearStem, our entire brand, we are your go-to source for acne and breakouts, both internally and externally. So externally, of course, all of our products are always free of pore clogging ingredients. So absolutely no pore cloggers. A fun fact, there's actually a pore clogging scale. Its official term is a non-comedogenic scale. You may see non-comedogenic said a lot. We like to say non-pore clogging because it's a bit more robust. It includes a bit more ingredients. But there's a non-comedogenic scale that goes from 0 to 5 that rates ingredients. And so 5 meaning it will most likely break you out, and 0, there's 0 chance it'll break you out. And so all of our ingredients in our ClearStem formulations are comedogenic ratings of 0. So we don't even play around with the 2s and the 3s, because you can actually put non-comedogenic on the front of packaging and it still could have some 1s and 2s and 3s mixed in there. So we always do 0s. And then we have our internal supplements. Our main one is Mind, Body, Skin. That is our natural alternative to maybe going a prescription route. But actually, we have a lot of dermatologists that also prescribe, they recommend it alongside of sometimes spironolactone to really help. So it doesn't have to be an and or. Spironolactone can be taken alongside Mind, Body, Skin too. And then we have a lot of other incredible supplements that are focused on the key areas internally of the body that are supporting different skin functions. So think digestion, internal skin hydration, inflammation, etc. But we're most well known for our Mind, Body, Skin supplement.
Yeah, it really is an internal and external conversation. You could be doing everything right with your diet and your hormones could be amazing and all that. But if your ingredients are still clogging your pores, you're still going to get acne. So it really is internal and external. The Clear Pore Promise, Kayleigh kind of dove into it, but every product that we create, like there's hundreds of these pore clogging filler agents. We know what they are and we formulate without them. And then to be extra sure, we actually do an elevated level of comedogenic testing. You can send it to a lab, and what they do is do a control patch on one part of the skin with like a lanolin alcohol that's known to clog pores. And then they do a patch with the product that you want to test. And then what they do is called a follicular biopsy. It's expensive. Not every brand does this, right? So what they'll do is after like 30 or 60 days, they will take the basically the follicle, the hair follicle, which is the pore, and they will put it under a microscope and they will see how much it clogged, like how much dead skin it trapped, if it grew bacteria, like all that stuff. So we literally do follicular biopsy on our products to make sure it's non-comedogenic, non-acnegenic, and safe for sensitive skin, because most people do identify with having sensitive skin. So we cover all those bases. So that is our promise to you. We don't F around with pore cloggers, even if they're, even if they're clean and natural, like coconut oil, for example, like we still won't use it. So that is our Clear Pore Promise.
All right. So we went through a bit of a brand refresh this year. So we've actually been around for 7 years. Like I mentioned before, we started with just one product. That was our Cell Renew Serum. We had that for about 2.5 years. Then we have what is now our Clear Routine, made up of 4 products. We had those for another 4 years or 2 years. And then here we are 7 years later, with all of these incredible products. The way we formulated products is truly listening to our community about what people need us to make, not only for their breakouts, but also just products that are free of pore clogging ingredients that they maybe love other products that exist. Like, oh, I want a mandelic acid serum. I want a skin spray. I want lip products. I want a barrier supporting mask, but all the ones out there have pore clogging ingredients. So we listen to our community and we formulate for amazing products that support with both breakouts, anti-aging, all at the same time while being free of pore cloggers. So as we launch products over the last 7 years, we would just pick really fun colors for each product that we just connected with. And we really never thought here we'd be like 20 products later, and kind of took a look at all of our products. And we're like, oh, there's a lot of colors happening and they don't really have a system at all because we were just, we kind of had like our heads down. We were just building for like what we would want and for our community. And so we decided to create a color coding system to our products. And so if you're a ClearStem veteran, you may know that like some colors are the same, some have shifted. If you're brand new to the brand, great. You'll be seeing this for the first time. So we now have categorized all of our products into 3 categories. So it makes it really easy of like, what do I want for my skin? Where do I go first? So the first category is prevent and support. So think of these as just your daily essentials. These are going to be hydrating, they're going to be barrier supporting, they're going to be blemish prevention. We have our gentle scrub and polish in here that's called our vitamin scrub, our incredible gentle clean face wash that is just so hydrating. We have our viral Hydro Glow moisturizer in here, our skin spray. So think of these again, very barrier supporting, blemish prevention, daily essentials. Then we have our Clear and Clarify collection. These are going to be if you have any active acne or breakouts, or you just want to enhance your skincare morning and night to be a little more breakout forward to help with any either prevention if it's coming around that time of the month, or if you were just very acnegenic in general. So these are your must-haves when breaking out. Think active breakouts and post blemish marks. Then the skin perfecting. So think firming, fine lines, dark spots, all the things you want for skin perfecting and anti-aging. Our brand new Bright Me Up toner that Greta was on the campaign for. You'll find Bright Me Up toner, which is definitely my new favorite product. And I cannot live without it. I'm so addicted to it.
It's literally about to sell
It's
out.
insane.
It's insane.
It's insane. It like makes your I don't know how to explain it. It like makes your face like look like snatched. Like first of all, like your pores like minimized, but I feel like when I'm using it when I'm really good like morning and night for like the entire week, I can definitely see like an entire like glow and lift in my face. It's actually insane.
Actually, I think this would be fun. I know I'm totally going out of order, but I just like that all the products are up right now. Greta, remind us of your favorites that are right here.
It helps if I go in order. So like I gentle clean, and then I'll do the toner, and then I'll do I have the Hydro Glow moisturizer, like literally like this one's like empty. Like thank God I just got a new one. And then I always do the lip balm and I put it on my cuticles too at night. And then in the morning I always use, and then I use the Bounce Back serum. This is my new fave. That is my most recent ad. And then during the day, I'll also do the sunscreen and I just put the extra on the back of my hands. And then of course, the only supplement I'm on from ClearStem is the Mind Body Skin. I really feel like it's all that I need and I find it incredible.
I love that. So you like to mix. I like that you mix and match all of them. I do as well. I'm like, I have favorites from every section here.
Yeah, it's like fun. I mean, I started off so simple with the routine, which I think is it's always great to start simple and then you integrate, you bring in more things one by one and like perfect your routine over time.
Agreed. Agreed. We just want to show some more before and after. So this is really what we're known for. We've always been community first. We love sharing people's stories. One of our recent campaign shots that we did, we featured all ClearStem customers that had transformative journeys, and they were actually a part of our full campaign shoot as well, got to just share their story. And it's pretty powerful because when you start to figure out what's causing your breakouts, you just start to feel like you know your body more. You become more intuitive. You show up differently. You feel differently about yourself. Your confidence just really starts to shine through. And that's truly where we came up with because clear skin changes everything. That was a big leader in our brand refresh this past year. And that was from after reading hundreds of thousands of reviews that people left, whether it's emails, DMs on our website. And this same kind of pattern just kept coming back over and over again. Like, you gave me my confidence back. You gave me my body back. You gave me myself back. Like, it really changed everything for me. And so that is what truly powers all of us at ClearStem, is this right here.
Great. Let's get into the root causes of acne. So internal and external, they are equally important. So what I encourage you all to do is to make a little note of the things that I'm going to list off in terms of like food and dietary triggers and vitamins, like really make a note to check those and then write down all of your triggers. And then we can talk about how to do an elimination diet once we've identified them. So internal things that can create hormonal acne or add to immune system burden or dysregulation in your body. There's dietary triggers, regular, infection and inflammation. We all have some sort of like resting infection that our body is always fighting off, especially when the seasons change or if you travel a lot. So that is a trigger for everyone, but can be more for others. Hormones, natural ebb and flow of our cycle, but then other things that we do that impact our hormones, which we will go deeper into. Excess supplements. So supplements are fantastic. There are certain things that you have to supplement with because your body doesn't naturally make it. For example, like lysine and astaxanthin, things like that. Certain supplements don't affect hormones, and then certain supplements can actually spike your testosterone and make you break out. So a lot of people are getting hormonal acne from their vitamins. We will go deeper onto that. Dehydration and drainage and digestion issues are really, really common. Everyone knows you got to be hydrated in order to have good skin, but it's more than just hydration. It's the ability to detox, the things that we normally come in contact with. So drainage pathways, think of your lymphatic system and poop. That's your number one detox right there, poop and then sweat. And then, making sure your lymphatic system is getting action is really important. Digestion, which I want to encourage you to think about as your stomach and then also your gut. It's helpful to think of digestion as two distinct parts. We'll go more into that. And then there's deficiencies, like certain vitamin deficiencies that can affect acne. And then stress and blood sugar. So this category right here of all the internal triggers, it's a lot of things to focus on, but the great thing about it is once you know this information, it also helps you age better. So even if you don't have acne and it's not a huge problem for you, knowing the internal causes of acne will also help you age as well as you possibly can. So that's the good news. All the information is both anti-aging and anti-acne. External triggers, there's two. It's pore-clogging ingredients, and then there's not enough exfoliation. So we will dive into that. For exfoliation, that is tied to the genetic component of acne. There is a genetic predisposition for being acne prone, and it's something called retention hyperkeratosis. Hyper means more. Keratosis is the keratin protein that we make. So that's in our hair, our skin, and our nails. Those of us who are prone to acne in our families, we make more of that protein than other people. So our pores just get a little bit more clogged than the girl who never breaks out, even though she doesn't wash her face. So that's why we need the right type and frequency of exfoliation. So we'll dive all into that too. Internal triggers. Okay, Greta, you had some people ask you these. Okay, so I will go ahead and answer them. Dairy and almonds are acne triggers for me. Okay, do you have a go-to milk alternative? Yep, dairy is a huge trigger. Dairy, any kind of dairy, even if it's organic, even if it's raw, all dairy from an animal will have hormones in it, insulin growth factor hormones, essentially. So that's why it creates hormonal acne around the mouth. So it's good that this person has identified that that's a trigger for her. Almonds, it sounds like she's got like a bit of an almond allergy. So almond milk is out for her. Our favorite dairy-free milks mine is cashew milk. And then I also like milkadamia, which is macadamia milk.
So good.
Yeah, there's oat milk, which is like like sometimes you're like at an event or something and all they have is oat milk. Okay, it's not going to kill you once in a while, but I don't recommend buying it just because oats generally have a lot of glyphosate on them. So I think my favorite non-dairy milk has got to be cashew for accessibility and for it being good for you.
Randomly, I tried a pistachio milk a lot.
Oh, it's so good.
I know pistachios are a big allergy for some people too, but if you aren't allergic to pistachios, unbelievable.
It's so good. I only don't buy it because it has a lot of fat.
Maybe that's why it was so good.
That's why it's so good.
Listen to the experts.
Any pistachio flavored anything is like the best.
It's so good.
Yes.
Pistachio milk with matcha is actually out of control. Like an iced matcha with pistachio milk is It's like
Insane.
drinking a milkshake. Like
I
it,
know.
I
It's
feel
so
like
thick.
being so naughty. Like when I have one today, I'm like this.
I love that
It's
that's
okay.
your
It's
dog.
okay.
It tastes so, and it's like there's like a vanilla pistachio milk. It's so indulgent.
All right.
Fun. Like when
Other
you're
questions
done,
from the
yeah.
community. Okay,
I
best
think
ways to navigate acne with PCOS. This is a really, really good one. If anyone has been diagnosed with PCOS or thinks they might have it, I would love if you want to share in the chat, go for it. That way I know like how much time to spend on it and we can answer some more specific questions. But PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's actually really common and it's underdiagnosed. So what it means is basically on your ovaries, you get these little like cysts, but what it really is at its core is a blood sugar issue. It's basically similar to diabetes, but it's localized on the ovaries. So it's important to be aware of this because what it does is it makes your testosterone really high, and girls who have it really bad, they'll have excess facial hair. They won't get their periods regularly at all, or they have like really, really bad symptoms. And it makes you just get like really relentless acne. And you got to like get an ultrasound in order to get officially diagnosed with it. Usually your OBGYN or your physician will be like, no, just be on birth control. It'll suppress the symptoms, but like it's still there. So yeah, PCOS is a really important topic. And I'm glad it's getting more attention in general.
Yeah, we've obviously us being in the breakout skin and acne space, we see PCOS a lot. And we see a lot of community members talk about it. We've actually noticed a pattern in the last few years that it seems, and I just want to bring this to everyone's attention. It feels like it's getting a bit overdiagnosed recently, where it's just a entire grouping of symptoms, and then someone will just get told they have it and then fully believe for the rest of their life that they have it. So PCOS, we talk about this. We actually have a root cause of acne masterclass 2.0 that goes a lot more like once you've been through one of our regular master classes, we dive so much more into blood work because we actually have an entire blood work wing of ClearStem where we do blood work for acne and breakouts to help you get to the root cause of your acne. And so PCOS is elevated testosterone, but what we actually look to find is why is the testosterone elevated? Not just like, hey, let's just suppress it. What's actually raising the testosterone in the first place? So Danielle mentioned, which is a huge component of it, blood sugar. When you have elevated blood sugar, that also raises testosterone levels. So your testosterone levels could be high because of elevated blood sugar. Another big one is a sluggish liver. Your liver is in charge of detoxing out hormones in your body. And when your liver is really sluggish or backed up, it can actually cause elevated hormonal levels, estrogen, progesterone, but also testosterone. And so we love doing any liver supports with this. So like herbal teas, castor oil packs can be really supportive as well. And in general, Danielle mentioned in the very beginning of the masterclass how important bowel movements and sweating are. That's another way to get out what doesn't belong in our body. So we've seen a lot in our blood work that heavy metals and high levels of mold actually contribute to elevated levels of testosterone. And a really good way of getting those out of the body is through bowel movements and through sweat. And so making sure that you're getting walks in. I love doing my like lymphatic jumps in the morning. So I love like swinging my arms back and forth. I love pumping my lymph nodes. I love doing some jumping jacks, some like pogo hops, just to really stimulate the lymphatic system to get things moving through your body. So that's something just really important to note. And blood work is always so helpful for getting to the root cause of your elevated testosterone and PCOS.
I love, what did you call them? Pogo hops?
Yeah. Like I wish I was on a pogo stick, but I'm not. I'm just
Okay, I'm literally gonna see you taking meetings bouncing next, like in the future. Like I can see it.
I literally just jump up and down and like jump up around my house. I'm like all like skipping and jumping around my house. I think it's like so good. We don't move our bodies like we did when we were kids. So like I always just try to like skip and jump and jumping jacks. It's like it's so good for your body to jump. Just do it. I swear it's so fun. And it makes you smile. You can't like be in a bad mood and jump.
Totally. Okay, question from Brielle. What's an underrated skincare tip or product that you think everyone should use? I love that question. Okay, the most underrated but critical, and I do mean critical, skincare tip is to not use hot water when you're washing your face. the number one terrible thing you can do to your skin that will like destroy it and make you age so much faster, it also makes acne worse, is to sit with the shower with hot water beating on your face.
Wait,
And
I'm
that
just
is,
learning this. This is terrible news.
I'm glad you're learning it at your age, babe. I didn't learn it until I was like 32, and I like destroyed my skin with scalding hot water. Like I did permanent damage.
I'll sometimes wash my face in the sink with cold, but like in the shower, like I love hot water.
Yeah, but just not on your face. Like
Just
face,
like
neck,
push it off.
chest. Yeah.
Okay. I have like
Not
an
on the money
adjustable
maker.
shower head, so I'll be like pushing it down. That's good to know. I'm happy we have this call just for that reason.
We're done now. Bye, everyone.
So that it's really important to know, because what it does is it actually strips your entire moisture barrier, which sends a mayday message down to your sebaceous glands to like fire more oil off because it's been so dried and stripped. Water itself on your skin, especially water with pressure, is very, very drying no matter what temperature. When you add heat to that, it's like slow burning and stripping your barrier. And when you have a messed up barrier, that's when all the other issues come. That's when acne comes. That's when dermatitis comes. That's when rosacea comes. Like all of it. So I can't stress that point enough. And another thing is, if you go and get like an expensive treatment done, like microneedling or something with lasers, and you start washing your face with hot water when you're in that healing mode, you can get insane damage and you won't get the benefits from the treatment that you just paid for. But yet this isn't talked about. So I can't
I'm going to tell everybody this.
tell everyone.
I also feel like sometimes like when you get a facial at like a really fancy hotel or something, they always put like hot towels on your face. Is that not a good thing? Should they be putting hot towels?
That's okay. What they're doing with that is they're taking something off, because like if it's like a clay mask or something like that, you have to re-wet it and soften it in order to take it off. I personally don't like that step, but it's only once in a while. So
So
it's
it's
not
not like this like once or twice a day, twice a day situation where you're like putting hot water on your face. I get it.
yeah, it's different than having the shower beat on your skin. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, I will be correcting this behavior and telling everybody.
cool. Yeah, cool water in the morning, because you don't need to do a deep cleanse in the morning. But at night, when you are taking off the entire day and you're taking off sunscreen and makeup and 16 hours of sweat, that's when you need to actually have it be warm so that your cleanser can dissolve the stuff, right? So just do like warm, like what you would dunk a newborn baby in. Okay. All right. Food triggers. Dairy, we touched on that. It has insulin-like growth factor hormones, IGF. That will give you breakouts. So milk and cheese generally breaks you out around your chin area. It can spread to other places, but like that's where you're going to see it first. So if you go and have like a charcuterie platter and a wheel of brie to yourself, and you wake up the next day with something on your chin right here, like it can happen that quickly. So it's good that it happens fast. Then you can tell your threshold. So you'll know like, okay, I overdid it with cheese last night. Next time I'm going to do a little bit less. But if you're doing like whey protein, like think of like whey smoothies or whey protein bars, that is even more concentrated hormones, and that can spread to like acne on the back. Like that's why a lot of bodybuilders and stuff get like acne on the back, is because it really like they're all on whey protein, and it just like loads them up with hormones, and that can make you just oily everywhere, which can make you break out everywhere. But it'll really hit you around the mouth and go to the back if you're doing it a lot. So tell the men in your life, if they're struggling with their skin, it's whey protein and eggs for the boys. Those are the number 2 triggers, or the 2 top triggers. Gluten is one that fuels inflammation. So even if you are not celiac, non-celiac gluten inflammation is a really big deal. So it'll be kind of this like slow underlying inflammation that's it's hard to pinpoint because it doesn't attack one area of the face, and it's not instant for most people. It'll be like over time because of the degradation that it does to your gut lining. Some people, like Kayleigh, for example, is truly celiac. Like she'll get sick and she'll see a breakout like pretty darn quickly. But for most people, it's like one of the things that's just making your acne worse. And it's the good thing to do is to do a proper elimination diet with it for like 60 days and then reintroduce it so you can tell if it's a trigger for you. I would say it's a huge trigger for about 30% of my clinic clients. Yeah. Kayleigh, did you want to add anything to that?
Yes, sorry, I've been firing away in the chat, everyone.
Oh, okay.
Danielle and I always alternate. When she's talking, I'm like firing in the chat. When I'm talking, she's firing away in the chat. No, you covered this all. I think the biggest part of it is like, listen, we never want to create fear around food. What we want to do is empower you with the knowledge to make your own choices and decisions and really just start to learn from your body. Like that way you get to make the choice. If you're like, hey, I want to have dairy and I may have a breakout tomorrow, but like I'm making that choice versus the food making the choice for you and you don't know what caused it. And you just feel like you're in this spiral of being so frustrated with your breakouts. Like, why do they always come? Like what's actually causing it. So we just want to provide this information so you have your own checklist to go through. So if you are really struggling with your skin right now, like we do encourage that you're diligent for about 60 days. That's where you're really going to see the biggest results. If you're like, I am breaking out right now, I really want to get my skin clear, we recommend that you use the checklist as a guide for 60 days and then start reintroducing things back in a really balanced way. But it just truly helps you get to a really solid baseline with your skin and then incorporate things back in. I will say this isn't like no, it is a reason to eat like cheese and dairy. What am I trying to say? Our Mind Body Skin helps you so much with food breakouts. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying like eat pizza every meal of every day and take Mind Body Skin, your skin will be clear. Like that's not what I'm saying. It's more like when you want to enjoy those more indulgent foods and you're the type of person where you know you're going to break out from it, Mind Body Skin can help so much. Like if I'm going to have gluten-free pizza or I'm going to have dessert at night because sugar really breaks me out, I take my Mind Body Skin with it. It really helps everything break down properly so I don't wake up with a breakout the next day. So we wanted to create Mind Body Skin so it doesn't hold you back from like the fun indulgences that you want to have and you don't always have to wake up with a breakout the next day.
Yep. Amen. Eggs is a secret trigger that I wish everyone knew. So egg whites specifically can create an immune response in a lot of people. It's not a true allergy. Only like a small percentage of people are actually allergic to eggs, although it is actually one of the top 6 food sensitivities. So even if you've taken a food sensitivity test and you're like, oh, it said I'm not allergic, be mindful that egg white protein actually can trick your lymphatic system into thinking that there's an invader. It's just this weird kind of thing that happens, and it will create cystic acne right on your jawline where you would think it would be hormonal. And it can kind of go down the neck where your lymph node, like where your lymph pathways are. It'll kind of start right there. And then it can also spread to the lymphatic portions of your face. So it can go like here, like where your bronzer would go. And then it can also be like around the mouth, like a parentheses around the mouth. I personally had a really, really gnarly breakout from eggs, even after 3 rounds of Accutane. This was probably like 6-7 years ago, before Mind Body Skin existed. But I had switched to only eating like really good, high quality, like farm fresh, perfect feed eggs. I was only having those as my source of protein. So I was having like 4 a day, and my acne came back the worst it had ever been. Like came back face, neck, chest, back, like you name it, right? And I have learned that I can only have like a couple bites of egg before I will get a breakout. Kayleigh's a little bit less acneic than I am, so she can have eggs like once or twice a week. So her threshold is just a little bit different. But pro tip, if you ever work with an endocrinologist or functional medicine person, they're going to have you do an elimination diet the same way we're sharing with you. So this is kind of like, this is the knowledge that like an expensive functional medicine person would also have you do. So really take this to heart. If you have unexplained cystic acne, even if you're convinced it's hormonal, I guarantee you eggs could be making it worse. They also have a naturally occurring amount of progesterone, which in and of itself in one egg isn't going to throw you off. But when you're having like multiple eggs every day, it can accumulate to the point where it messes with hormones. So definitely do a check, check by doing an elimination diet for eggs. I recommend doing it for like 45 to 60 days and then reintroducing them, have eggs a few times that week during your introduction week so you can get a sense of what your threshold is.
Do you find that breakouts from eggs happen pretty quickly in
Within
the
a couple
same
of
way
days.
that like in the same way cheese would, as you were saying?
Cheese happens a
I'm
little
asking this
faster.
because I don't eat eggs all the time, but I I had 3 eggs like in a wrap before this call, and I'm like, I'm gonna just pay attention to see if like anything in my dermatitis. Even I'm so into with my skin now ever since like I switched to ClearStem. So like my skin is like 99% clear. So like if something's off, like I know immediately. So I will let you know tomorrow
Okay.
morning how I'm doing.
Cool. You might want to test it, like have eggs like every day this week and see if it does anything, because you want to know if it's a trigger for you. For some people, it's not a trigger. For a lot of people, it's a huge trigger. It just depends on your system and how your immune system reacts to it. So I would just have eggs every day this week. That then you can really know if they're a trigger. Because if you only do it once, it's not quite enough data, you know? I
Okay.
always
Thank
tell
you.
people, when you dive back in, like really
All right
see if
now.
it's a trigger for you.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll try it. Eggs
Okay.
is something I normally like only have like once a week anyway, so maybe I've just never noticed. And in that case, I only crave eggs once in a blue moon.
Okay. I
That's the
miss
perfect.
eggs. Yep. Okay, drinks. So excess caffeine, especially caffeine on an empty stomach, can spike your cortisol, and anything that speeds you up can break you out because it raises your body temperature and it makes you produce more oil. So I can't do coffee. Coffee breaks me out. I get little sebaceous hyperplasia bumps on my forehead, which are even worse than acne because you have to like burn them off. But for a lot of people, it creates a surge of acne, and it can be in your around your eyebrows is when you see it a lot, and on the forehead because it's like increasing body heat and increasing oil. So if you notice that having coffee makes you a lot more oily, or you get acne that's like unexplained, take a break from coffee and switch to matcha or a tea instead and see how you do with that. We always recommend having a bunch of water or green juice before you have caffeine anyway. Don't make it the first thing you put in your body, because when you wake up, consider yourself dehydrated from the night before. So the first thing that enters your body is going to have a disproportionate effect because you're dehydrated, like you're at zero, right? So always have another drink before that. And if you're gonna make a coffee or matcha drink, I recommend putting it in like a big mason jar, like something like this. So it's mostly water. So you're at least taking a lot of water with it. And then add a scoop of like vanilla protein and some electrolytes. That way it's a slower release, like when it's hitting you. That way it's not like, an espresso and you're like off to the moon and, all sped up. Alcohol, we all know alcohol is bad for you. It's going to be bad for your skin. It's going to make you age faster. It's going to throw off your hormones. Drink consciously, make it count. I think the best drink for most people is like vodka soda with a splash of like lemon juice or something like that. Vodka soda is going to be your best bet, or like a mojito with no sugar, something like that. Tequila soda. Some people like work really well with tequila. Some people don't. If you do, if you don't, right? So avoiding all the sugar in your drinks is going to be the best way to like drink safely for your skin.
All right. So we had some questions coming in the chat, and I know I told you guys we're getting there in a slide. So here we are. This is one of the supplements is one of the biggest shockers for people. I would say eggs is one of the big shockers, but supplements is next. So I want to preface that we are talking about supplements in excess. We all need these supplements. We need vitamin D, B12, zinc, biotin, like we don't need stevia. But all of these exist naturally occurring in our body. We need them for our body to flow correctly. But we actually have noticed this more in the last, I would say, 5 to 6 years. There's a lot of excess supplements that are being put in other things well beyond supplements. So we're finding excess amounts of these things in energy drinks, in greens powders, in protein powders, and kind of just in colostrum, like scattered across like all these different products that you're using. So not even knowingly, these different supplements are adding up in excess, even if it doesn't feel like you're taking excess. Example, vitamin D. A lot of times if we'll ask someone, do you take a vitamin D? They'll say no, but then we look at their multivitamin, it's in there. Then they have an immunity supplement, it's in there. And then it's also added in their greens powder. It's also in another blend that they're having somewhere else. And so devil is in the dosage for these, and these add up. The specific ones, vitamin D, B12, and zinc, in excess, these actually impact hormonal levels. So these can cause temporarily elevated androgens, which are the male hormones, kind of in the testosterone family. So it can cause hormonal looking acne around your mouth, around your jawline. So what we've seen happen a lot is we have people who, and this was me, by the way, I was taking so many supplements when I met Danielle. A big part of some of my internal triggers was excess supplementation. I was taking everything and anything you could imagine. I thought more was better. It is not. Also, it's great to take supplements based on blood work if you can get that from your doctor as well. But making sure that you're seeing where these are compounding in all areas and causing hormonal acne, because the cycle that we'll see from people is they're taking a lot of supplements and then they have a lot of breakouts in the more hormonal areas, which is around the jawline. They go to the doctor. The doctor is like, oh, you have hormonal acne. Here's spironolactone. Spironolactone suppresses testosterone, but then you're still taking those supplements that are trying to push it up. So the root cause was actually never addressed. And then you went to the doctor and got put on a hormone suppressant when the root cause really was taking too many supplements. And so that's what the cycle that we do not want to see people get stuck in. And we don't want you to have to take a prescription for something that you can just remove from your current diet and lifestyle. We want you to actually figure out what that root is. So vitamin D, B12, zinc, all of these are great for us. We just want to take them in really healthy and balanced levels. And then biotin is an interesting one. So biotin doesn't necessarily impact hormones, but we see it really triggering acne. And a lot of people who have been acne prone since birth will know to steer clear of biotin. They know after taking a very traditional hair, skin, and nail supplement that has a ton of biotin in it, they're like, oh, no, I break out literally the next day from that. So a lot of people intuitively figure this out really fast. But basically, the way biotin can impact breakouts is by triggering that internal response, hyperkeratosis. Danielle mentioned in the beginning of this masterclass, that is a genetic hyperkeratosis is also when people are genetically predisposed to acne, they basically hyperproduce protein. And biotin is also hyperproducing protein. So that's skin protein, hair protein, nail protein. When you're hyperproducing skin protein, your pores are getting clogged faster. So biotin can make your pores clog faster and it can really flare up a breakout. And so that's a really good one to be aware of.
That's like one of the first things like Danielle told me when she took a look at my skin. She gave me a facial. We're just like talking about like different triggers, and then I actually half my amount of Nutrafol I was taking. Love Nutrafol, but like I don't need to take 4 of them. I only need 2, and that works great for me. You know, like sometimes just because somebody is telling you this is how many you take, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Like I like how there's even a suggestion like 2 or 3 capsules. I take 2 of the Mind Body Skin. So just because it works for somebody, like we're all a little bit different.
It's such a great suggestion, and just like bringing the awareness to it. Everyone's bodies is so different. And that's why like through these master classes, we just love to add context to things because it's not black or white and everyone's not the same. So we're really giving you all the tools here for then you to take a look at everything you're doing in your diet and lifestyle and see what your different thresholds are for different things. Okay, so the last one, stevia on here. This has been a crazy one we've been seeing, guys. So when we first started ClearStem, stevia was not rampant. Like the only way it seemed that people were using stevia was just putting a few droppers in their coffee sometimes. Like that's like on the market. That's pretty much the only places we are seeing it. Now it has been a sugar alternative in so many products. I mean, you even see it in like, I've seen it in like the like lemon, cayenne, ginger juices that you think you're just drinking like a plain, like whether it's green juice or vegetable juice or a lemon juice, and there's stevia added. It's added to protein powders, green powders, colostrum powders. It's added to different like gummy supplements. It's added to like protein bars, you name it. Stevia is rampant. There's a lot of studies coming out right now that stevia in excess amounts actually acts as a progesterone blocker. So it can actually throw off hormones. And just for all of our ladies listening right now, there's also a lot of studies coming out about its impact on fertility. Because when you're blocking testosterone, when you're blocking progesterone, it's kind of acting like a bit of a birth control in your body, like mimicking it, not necessarily blocking you from getting pregnant like a birth control, but it is mimicking certain effects of it. And so we've actually seen quite a few customers that removed it, like they were trying to get pregnant and trying to clear the skin at the same time. They removed stevia and they were like, I've been trying to get pregnant for a year. I removed stevia and like I feel like that was the last thing for me. Like again, these are just stories that have been shared with us. But stevia is a really big one that's being brought to the attention of women's hormone health recently. So again, it's not evil, it's not bad, it's just something to be aware of how many different places in your diet and supplement protocol, because like in all the different powders, like where you are having excess amounts of stevia. So I always say a good rule of thumb is just one product a day. If you can limit it even more, go for it, but choose your one product a day with stevia and try not to have like 5 different ones. The last 2 ones are gut and digestion and consistently high cortisol. So we've addressed some of these already. Definitely the consistent high cortisol we've addressed because we've addressed high sugar, high testosterone levels, high cortisol. They're all very interconnected. So cortisol is our stress hormone. Things that trigger it: inflammatory foods, poor sleep, improper digestion, really intense workouts, like HIIT workouts every single day of the week. So just keeping your body in that really stress state can really impact skin. This can also be a toxic relationship, changing jobs, losing your job, moving somewhere new, going through family stress. There's a lot of things that impact us. And so it's really just being aware, being kind to your body. If you're going through a really stressful time, maybe it is breakup, moving, losing a job, starting a new job, family stress, just take a look at the other things that can be a little more controlled, right? Like, are you working on getting better sleep? Are you working on having enough water every single day? Are you maybe swapping out some of the really high intensity workouts for some lower impact workouts? So just finding those micro moments to really come back to yourself, have deep breaths, and bring down those stress levels, because those are seriously real when it comes to breakouts and skin health.
And if the man is stressing you out, get rid of him. Just saying.
We've heard customer stories where the last straw for clearing their skin was getting out of a really toxic relationship.
Legit.
We've heard those stories over and over and over again. So it is real. And these are internal supplements for support. So we talked a lot about our Mind Body Skin supplement that really supports hormones, drainage, stress, inflammation. That's the one in the middle. And then we also have, I'll go to the beginning now, our ACV Clear. That is our apple cider vinegar and digestive bitters. It's really supportive for blood sugar balancing, digestion, and lymphatic drainage. We have our Good Seed supplement, which is black cumin, pumpkin seed, and sea buckthorn. And that's going to really support internal and underlying infections and inflammation. Breakouts and acne are some of the root causes are underlying infections. You may not even know, like 6 symptoms may not be showing, but acne is coming through. So it can just be really supportive daily supplement for inflammation and any underlying infections. That one is recommended a ton when people go through our blood work, because most of everyone's cases that come back in the blood work do show some form of underlying infection when there's chronic breakouts and acne involved. And then pillow time, my favorite way to go to sleep. It really supports what we just talked about: cortisol and stress and blood sugar. So not only does it have magnesium and melatonin in it to really support great sleep, but it also has inositol and L-theanine. Inositol is kind of the secret star in this, which helps support your blood sugar while you're sleeping. That's a lot of times really overlooked, is the blood sugar spikes that happen while we're sleeping, and it can affect our sleep levels. So like sometimes when you wake up, you got 9 hours of sleep and you still feel so exhausted, your body sometimes was actually undergoing blood sugar spikes through the night. So inositol really helps regulate your blood sugar while you're sleeping. This can happen from drinking, from feeling like drinking alcohol, feeling stressed, eating late at night. Sometimes if you wake up to go, like the witching hour for blood sugar spikes is around 2 or 3 a.m. So if you find yourself waking up around those hours to go to the bathroom, you didn't actually have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Your blood sugar spiked in the middle of the night. You woke up and then you had to go to the bathroom. So this really helps keep you in a nice deep sleep throughout the night and wake up feeling really refreshed.
I can't wait to take pillow time. Also, 3 milligrams of melatonin is the sweet spot. It is an antioxidant, and it's something you should be supplementing with because our screens deplete our melatonin. If you have a TV or a phone or a computer, your melatonin is getting like harmed. So it is really important to supplement with it. And it's all about the right dosage. 3 milligrams acts as an antioxidant. So don't be afraid of melatonin. It's really, really, really good. I love pillow time.
All right, so we have some more questions from your audience, Greta, that we can go through and answer. So the first one is, how do you balance wanting to clear acne, maintain hydration, and brighten spots? Danielle, you want to take this one?
Yeah. Brighten spots. Well, I'm trying to understand where this person's coming from because you can do all of them at once. Like ClearStem does all of them at once. We kind of made all of our products to like be barrier loving, clear the skin, and make you brighter. I have a sense, and I'd love to confirm with her. I think this person's probably using like a lot of benzoyl peroxide or maybe like a harsh topical thing, because most of the acne things that we get told to use, benzoyl peroxide is a perfect example, and tretinoin is a perfect example. They're so harsh on the barrier that your scars can't heal. So it's like you're taking it to try to like kill the bacteria or, you know, get rid of the acne, but it's also so aggressive that your actual skin, your healthy skin is getting damaged from it and the scars like cannot heal. It could also be someone using really hot water, because if you're using really hot water, your skin cannot heal. It's getting reburned every day. So the scars will just feel like they last forever. Like it can make scars last for years. So God, I wish I had more information. Basically, how do you balance it? You use ClearStem. You'll be golden. We thought of that.
I would say I would start with the clear routine first for this, just because it's 4 products. It's going to focus on clearing your skin, preventing future breakouts, but also targeting dark spots and increasing hydration in your skin. And it's really 4 products, really easy morning and night routine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the more clear answer. The clear skin routine, those 4 products coupled with our sunscreen. Sunscreen is how you prevent the sun from keeping your scars dark.
Okay, next one. Is washing your face in the morning with a cleanser good or bad for acne? Yeah, it depends. So you don't have to wash your skin in the morning with a cleanser. I would say if you're not using ClearStem products and you haven't checked to see if they're pore clogging or not, if you're currently using pore clogging products, you should absolutely wash your face with a cleanser in the morning because you need to try to get those out. But if you're already using all products that are free of pore cloggers, you do not have to use a cleanser in the morning. You can certainly just splash your face with cool water and then put on a moisturizer and a sunscreen and be good to go. But if you feel like your pores are really clogged and you're trying to get clear, or you feel like you really sweat the night before, like maybe, I mean, we're going into winter, so it's gonna be like your air conditioner broke. Like it's November on the East Coast, it's cold. But if it is the summer, your air conditioner broke, you're like sweating in the middle of the night, like cleanse your face in the morning, right? But most of the time in the middle of the night, we're just sweating a little bit. You're not really getting dirty and you don't have makeup to take off. So splashing your face with cool water in the morning is perfectly fine if that works for you.
Do you ever in the morning just do toner instead? Like you might splash your
I
face
do.
then just toner, because I've been doing that recently. So I'm hoping that's okay.
I
Yeah.
do that for sure. Especially like I love using Bright Me Up in the morning.
Yeah.
too, because it's just like, I love doing it before makeup. It just, like you said, like
No,
snaps.
it's like a good prep before you like hydrate your skin and start with your makeup. It's just, I feel like it's very fresh after it.
It does actually cleanse your skin a little bit. The ingredients will do what a cleanse would do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you're good. And to your point, Greta, it's whatever is working for you. Like,
Fair.
yeah, I always tell people if someone has like absolutely flawless skin, I'm like, change nothing. Like it really is just
I like this feeling of the gentle cleanser, but like sometimes when I'm in a rush, like I don't feel like, washing my face. I just want to be, I'll just toner, sunscreen, and just run out the door if I'm in a rush.
relatable. I never want to wash my face. I'm like, I wish I could just pay someone to live with me and wash my face at night.
Lay in bed, get a foot massage while someone's washing my face. Gold.
Yeah, I would let someone live with me if they did that for me every night.
Okay.
Okay, what sunscreen do we use? You want to use a mineral, preferably zinc-based sunscreen. Zinc topically is anti-inflammatory, and it's actually like a shield. It reflects back the sun's rays. It like doesn't let them penetrate. That's why it's so much better than a chemical sunscreen. So there's physical, aka mineral, those are the same. And then there's everything else. So all the sheer sunscreens, like if it's clear, see-through, it's a chemical sunscreen, right? That's going to be like the octocrylene, the avobenzone, the homosalates. You want to stay away from those. They're endocrine disruptors, and they're just not the best sun protection. And you can't tell if you missed a spot. And it's just, yeah. So your sunscreen should always be primarily zinc. Titanium's okay too, but zinc is better because it's a skin protectant. It actually has anti-inflammatory properties, which helps both acne and aging. So we love the sunscreen we made is You Are Sunshine, and we named it that because we want people to enjoy an outdoor lifestyle. We should absolutely be getting sun. Like we need to be outdoors, like we're made for it. We need to synthesize vitamin D through our skin, but just always wear sunscreen on your face, neck, and chest, and back of the hands. Everywhere else, you can just kind of let it be free, unless you're going to be like, out in a really intense sun, situation. So yeah, zinc is your best friend. If you are looking for a new face sunscreen, You Are Sunshine is really good. It's meant to be like a bit of a sheer. It's kind of like a light tan sheer color, and it's meant to be buildable. You want to see it so that you know how much coverage you have. I like to do 2 layers of it, especially if I'm going to be out in the sun or like going for a long walk or something like that. So it is buildable, and sometimes I add a little bit of my foundation to it, and I make my own like custom CC cream. And it's what I love about it too is it's safe enough to go around the eyes, and I do it as like an eyeshadow primer, because you do want to put sunscreen around this area. But if you do a chemical sunscreen, you're going to burn. Like the chemicals will burn that skin. So more to love about You Are Sunshine. I highly recommend y'all try it. All right, from Riley, what is your favorite skincare product? I think she's asking you that, Greta. What's your favorite skincare?
I would say the gentle cleanser, honestly. It's or the Hydro Glow moisturizer, because these are just like, if I just need 2 on a deserted island, like this is where I would start. I mean, I guess it would suck to not have sunscreen on an island, but I would start here.
You can just hide under a palm tree. You're fine.
Yeah. Like, please, can I take one more thing?
You chose well. Okay, question from Tay. How did you start your skincare journey and learn what your skin needed? I think that'd be really interesting. That'd be a good question for you to answer, Greta.
I started my skincare journey. I like was off and on it at different points. In high school, deep pimples in my forehead, super insecure. I was a lacrosse player, so like it was definitely triggered by like not wiping down my goggles and just not taking care of myself as much. Went on birth control, it chilled out. Went off birth control, switched birth control, tried an IUD, like different points of flaring up when in college. That was a struggle. And then in COVID, I had dermatitis from wearing like the masks all the time. And like once I got it, like super hard to tackle to get away. And like I tried different prescriptions and creams, but really learning how to like just be gentle with my skin, like really simple stuff that you can control. Like I pat my face now. I don't like rub it with a towel. All these things that you do without even realizing it impact it. Switching to ClearStem, I would say, was like the cherry on top of my skincare routine. I really started getting clear skin right before my wedding about 2 years ago. I started seeing an esthetician, but I still had that dermatitis and I still had that occasional hormonal acne. So I would say ClearStem was the cherry on top. 2 years ago wedding started like my final, like, I really want to get this right.
I love that you started with an esthetician. A good esthetician is your like an angel sent from above. Like
She
highly,
totally controlled like 90% of my acne for
yeah,
sure.
that is going to do you so much. Like they're going to know your skin so much better than a derm ever could. And like we love derms, don't get me wrong. They have a specific function and a place in your skincare journey. But a good esthetician, she's going to be obsessed with your pores. She's going to know your routine. She's going to be reviewing your makeup for you. She's got her hands on your skin. So I highly recommend that all of you find a really good SD.
But I also think like in terms of like your skincare journey, it really is never ending. Our skin's always changing. Like
Totally.
I'm 27. This past summer, like I really noticed melasma flaring up for like the first time in my life. And what I learned is like the sunscreen, the tinted sunscreen that you guys do actually blocks any trigger that you get from your phone. Like obviously I'm on my phone for work, for just scrolling on TikTok like so much of the day. And melasma can actually flare up from the light that your phone emits, and only tinted sunscreen, mineral sunscreen, can block that. So like you're always learning, you're always growing. And once I started being like consistent with my mineral tinted sunscreen, it doesn't flare up anymore. So it's just about like attacking these little issues one by one, and we're not striving for perfection. We just want to feel better and like look our best for that day.
Okay. You just made a light bulb go off in my head about doing some fact checking and but also like content around chemical sunscreens and whether or not they can even protect against blue light, because we know zinc can. But if people don't know that about chemical sunscreens, that would be really good education.
Definitely help me.
Good.
I saw just a question in the chat I just want to bring attention to because the slide earlier where I mentioned about vitamin D, zinc, and B12 in excess triggering breakouts, of course those are all amazing to have in our body. Our favorite forms to actually get those is through foods. So foods is where you can't really overdo it, right? It's hard, like the amount of zinc-based foods you would have to eat to hit even close to the excess amount in supplements, you wouldn't even be able to like fit it all in your stomach. So we love obviously vitamin D from the sun as much as possible. Zinc, I was just dropping this in the chat. Some of our favorite zinc-based foods: oysters, beef, lamb, pumpkin seeds, cashews, all of these are higher in zinc. Pumpkin seeds are my favorite way. I have a huge bag of organic pumpkin seeds that I keep in the fridge, and I just eat a handful of them a day. Also really great in iron. So if you've ever had any issues being low iron or anemic, a handful of pumpkin seeds can be really, really helpful. We also include pumpkin seed oil in our Good Seeds formulation. And so that is a great way to get food-based zinc because it's cold pressed pumpkin seed oil. B12 as well. We love getting B12 through food sources. Red meat is a really big one. So you can kind of get both zinc and B12 when you're having beef and other red meat. But always go for the food sources first for those.
Yeah. Okay. You want to take this one or you want to still be in the chat? Okay.
So I know we've been talking about pore clogging ingredients a lot, and so wanted to share. I know I dropped our pore clogging checker a lot for people, but I'll just repost it in the main chat. So not all pore clogging ingredient checkers are created equal. We know there's a ton floating about. We created ours 8 years ago. Actually more than that, because Danielle had the very first one for her clinic like 11 years ago. And we've been evolving it ever since. So not all pore clogging checkers are created equal. Ours specifically was built on expertise from estheticians, dermatologists, and multiple highly trained cosmetic chemists. There is so much context that is involved in a pore clogging ingredient checker, and we are ever evolving, updating it as well. Percentages, sourcing is really important. There can be one ingredient where it can be sourced in a pore clogging or non-pore clogging way. And so context is just really, really important. And we take our pore clogging ingredient list very seriously. So we always recommend people start when they're working on getting clear. you could have acne. You could simply just have a few breakouts that come around that time of the month, or you can be struggling with textured skin, closed comedones. Those are also other forms of breakouts and acne because it's still clogged pores at the end of the day. And so clean and organic does not necessarily mean acne safe. Just because an ingredient is healthy to eat doesn't mean that you should put it on your face. Example, organic beef tallow just equals organic pimples. And so these are just some of the more popular ones that we see floating around in formulation, but there's hundreds of pore clogging ingredients that exist out there. They're used typically as filler agents in formulas to make it thicker, change the consistency of it. So these are some of the popular ones that you'll see, but we have them all listed out on their website, as well as you can just copy and paste any ingredient deck of skincare, makeup, or around the hairline. But these are just some examples. In more of the clean space, you'll see beef tallow, olive oil, shea butter, coconut oil is a big one, different algae derivatives as well, lanolin, and then in the just in general formulation space, not necessarily clean, you'll see myristil myristate, isopurple myristate, a lot of those. And so this is just a really great screen for you guys to see the pore clogging and then the pore friendly alternatives. So glycerin, amazing alternative to beef tallow, watermelon seed oil, a pore clogging alternative to olive oil, etc. So we just really match them up with the alternatives that we use in our formulations and what you'll see across other products as well. And the last root cause of acne is not properly exfoliating. This is a very interesting balance that you will need to learn with your own skin. So we provide how to exfoliate. It is your job to really start to understand your skin, to learn when is too much exfoliation, when is too little. So we always recommend when you first start exfoliating, starting with every other night. You really want to exfoliate in the evening because that's when you're doing a lot more of your corrective work for your skin. You don't really want to do corrective work in the morning because you might be out in the sun during the day, you're putting makeup on, and etc. We really want our best corrective work to be done at night, and that way you get your amazing beauty sleep and it all soaks in without environmental disruptions that are going on. So you have a physical scrub and a chemical scrub. A physical scrub is going to be more manual. It is going to have a grainy texture to it. We love a perfect polish. That's in our vitamin scrub. We use bamboo mesh in there. So it's a really gentle but highly effective scrub. Think of this as the gatekeeper to your skin because you have dead skin cells, bacteria, product buildup, and the physical exfoliation is going to work to remove this, to really allow any serums that you put on after to actually get in your pore and create change, create physical change in your skin. So think of a scrub as the gatekeeper. So everything else works the best it can possibly be and create the most amazing change in your skin. Then you have chemical exfoliation. So these can be ingredients like salicylic acid, which you'll typically see in more of a spot treatment, glycolic, which we like in more of a like peel and treatment form, mandelic acid, which is our personal favorite for more daily exfoliation in a serum. You'll see lactic acid, which is very brightening, and then you'll see retinoids like vitamin A. So chemical exfoliations work on more of a deeper level. So they're going to get, well, not all of them. They're going to work on a deeper level to clear buildup and smooth your texture physically. What I was getting really excited to share with you guys is our favorite mandelic acid. We feel this is the Goldilocks of all the acids for actual like daily and weekly use because mandelic acid gets in your pore and physically dissolves the clog. This is what we see that we feel is really missing from more retinols and retinoids. They'll cause a lot of skin shedding, retinoids and retinols. They'll cause skin shedding, but they won't actually get in your pore and physically dissolve the clog that's going on. And so that's why we like mandelic acid. We find it a lot more brightening. We find it a lot more smoothing and can actually clear up buildup while also working to stimulate collagen and giving you that really beautiful glow. So that's why we've included it in our Clarity Serum, which is our favorite daily serum. And I just noticed on this slide, we totally forgot to update it with our new Clarity. So our new Clarity image is actually this like light minty green texture. Actually, I'm going to show you guys. It's right here. So it used to be yellow, but we updated it because it's a part of our Clear and Clarify collection. So it's actually this like pretty little minty green. Sorry, my background's a little blurred. There we go. This like minty green color. And you'll see it in the new serum bottles. You'll find these products in our clear kit because they are so incredible for clearing skin, smoothing skin, clearing any buildup, helping with skin texture as well, giving you that brightening effect. But the balance that I was talking about earlier, if you notice your skin is getting too dry or irritated, you could be overly exfoliating and impacting your skin barrier. So that's why we always recommend with starting every other night. If your skin is responding amazing to every other night, feel free to bump it up. If you notice your skin is getting a little dry and a little sensitive, bring it back down. This is going to change throughout the year and also throughout hormone cycles. So that's why you're just going to want to really just know and understand and respond to your own body. Example, winter's coming. Everyone on the East Coast is starting to crank the heat up in their house or apartment, which makes your skin get a lot drier. You're also getting some windburn outside. And so your skin is having a bit more trauma than it would maybe other times of the year, like spring and fall. And so this is where you want to really check. You may not be exfoliating as much as you were a month and a half ago. It may be 2 times a week. Then you may be in Florida, for example, and you're like, oh, wow, it's humid down here. My skin is looking like a little oily, a little clogged. You can definitely dial back up exfoliation. So this is something you're just going to want to play around with during times of the year, climate, etc. And then Greta, we wanted to share yours. So Greta was talking about her favorite products earlier, so we wanted to share them kind of all in a nice, beautiful lineup.
Do you want me to break this one down?
Go for it.
So I do morning and night, ideally, with the Gentle Clean Cleanser. And this is just great. We were saying earlier, protects your barrier. It's amazing at removing makeup. I love it. And then my most recent add to my routine is the Bounce Back Serum. Actually, Sebastian was the one who like also loves ClearStem, and he took this serum for me like back when I first got it in like my mailer. So recently I've reintroduced it back because when we were traveling, I was like trying it out of his bag and I was like, this stuff, like you really do see a difference like very quickly. So I'm very grateful that I have my own personal bottle now of that. I love the Hydro Glow moisturizer. This was one of the first products I fell in love with. It's just simple, easy. It's like the perfect, it's not too heavy. It doesn't feel too light either. The You Are Sunshine sunscreen. This is that tinted mineral SPF that I love, prevents my melasma from flaring up. And then finally, the Mind Body Skin Supplement. And I take 2 of these every single day. This is like the best thing. This is my all-time favorite product that ClearStem makes.
You have good taste.
Yeah.
Guys.
It's one of my favorites too.
Right.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Any other questions anyone has, feel free. And then you can also unmute yourself if that's easier as well. But I know we've been hitting a ton of questions in the chat. I was like scrolling back up through to see if I missed anything. Oh, this is a good one. What would you recommend for perioral dermatitis? So I would recommend going for more barrier restoring products for that. I think I dropped a link to my favorites in it because we got this question earlier too, so I'll refind. But basically anything really hydrating and barrier supporting. Our Hydra Berry mask is actually really incredible for sensitive skin and PD. And we have a lot of people that kind of stop everything they're using and just do Gentle Clean, Cell Renew, and Hydra Berry. and just have those 3 products while they get the inflammation under control. So think really simple, hydrating, nothing overly stimulating for the skin, and pulling back on any exfoliation. And certainly not any retinols when you're struggling with PD.
Yeah, seriously. Someone dropped a really good tip in the chat that I think would be amazing for a lot of people. So hers was tied to candida overgrowth, and her functional medicine person put her on something called candida stat. And we see candida overgrowth being like a culprit for a lot of things, and it can absolutely make sense that it would affect perioral dermatitis. So I think that would be a good tip. I was actually just sending that to someone who I know keeps struggling with it. But yeah, I think it could be good for anyone because a lot of us have extra candida overgrowth, and getting that under control will be really, really helpful for everyone. Even if you don't think you have a problem with it, I think it's good to like do a candida cleanse every now and then.
Agreed. You made me remember another question that was at the beginning of this master class that someone had just started taking Mind Body Skin supplement. They're still really breaking out and just want to understand some more supports. So a big one, I would definitely go through this master class as a bit of a checklist, because a big one is removing pore cloggers, because as the Mind Body Skin is trying to get your skin clear, if it is if something externally is reclogging your pores while it's trying to get you clear, you have to eliminate that. So your skincare and makeup, I dropped some of my makeup favorites in the chat too, making sure those are all pore clogging. And then the best things you can do to support your body and Mind Body Skin, especially if you're really trying to get clear, you want to be focused on blood sugar supports. So high protein breakfast, apple cider vinegar before meals, focus on more of a weightlifting or Pilates routine rather than high intensity workouts, because really high intensity workouts can spike testosterone. So keeping really like calmer strength training. Liver support is really important because Mind Body Skin is also helping to support your liver, but doing additional things like castor oil packs, dandelion tea, flax seeds, sweating, whether maybe if you have access to a sauna at your gym at all, that can be really helpful. Or standing away from the really hot shower and taking a little bit of a steam shower, whatever is easiest for you. But you want to make sure, especially while taking Mind Body Skin, get your sweat in and make sure you're having regular bowel movements, because you want to get the clogs out of your body. You want to get any of the elevated levels of hormones processed out through your liver and out through your bowels. And then also focusing on lymphatic movement. So dry brushing, gua sha, walking, rebounding, jumping, etc. Those can all be really, really helpful when you're struggling with more aggressive acne, taking Mind Body Skin and really trying to get clear. Okay. While we answer some additional questions, we also wanted to share, Greta had this really good idea when we were game planning for the masterclass. She was like, we should do a huge discount. We never do 30% off, where Greta was like, can we do something like super crazy and amazing for my community? And we said yes. So for 24 hours, 30% off, which is like truly the most we'll ever do. But you guys are so important. Greta's so important to us. We thought this would be just a really special gift for everyone. So 30% off, you can enter code Greta at checkout, and the 30% off code will be live for 24 hours. Okay. Anything else?
The giveaway?
Yes, the giveaway. Okay. Team, can someone remind me how we're picking? Is someone else picking people? We went over this and then I was like, I can't remember how we're picking people. So
Kiara is randomly selecting right now, and then we will announce in the chat. And 2 winners, we're going to have you guys please reach out over Instagram DM to our ClearStem page. And from there, I'll be able to get your information so you don't have to share your personal information in the chat here.
yay. Okay. So Piera on our team is going to be randomly selecting, and she's going to post the 2 names in the chat.
In the meantime, while she's randomly selecting, if you guys want to ask any other questions about anything, it doesn't have to be skincare related. I had so much fun. I felt like I learned so much in this chat, and I just want to take this extra few minutes to connect with you guys and talk about literally anything that you want.
And then also feel free, if it'd be way easier to ask your question to Greta by unmuting yourself, you can unmute yourself and ask her. Oh, wait, Pierre just posted the giveaway winners as questions are coming in. So Elizabeth Niznik, that's a really fun last name. That took me a second. Elizabeth Niznik and Esma Ardem. Congratulations, you both. Yay! So amazing. So please DM ClearStem's Instagram account directly, and Shay will coordinate getting all of your information. I'm gonna scroll back up too and see if any more questions come in too.
A good question right here. Any recommended retinols? We're not huge fan of traditional retinol. We feel like it makes people purge unnecessarily and it doesn't play nice with other things. So for acne, mandelic acid is the best way to go. You also get the anti-aging benefits that you were hoping for from the retinol anyway, but it actually is so much better for your skin and your barrier in general. We try to guide people to bakuchiol. Bakuchiol is like a retinol alternative where it gives you the like collagen stimulation you're looking for, but it doesn't create the purge and the barrier sensitivity and the flaking that most retinols generally bring. So I hope that helps. Our moisturizer has bakuchiol in it, just FYI. But you can get the results you're looking for from our serum called Clarity. That is the one that helps dissolve the blackheads, dissolve the acne, it dissolves the scars. It basically, mandelic acid is like a friendly acid that eats away the stuff you don't want in your skin anymore. So you put it on bare skin, it eats away like the clog, the bacteria, the makeup residue, all that stuff. And then, 10, 15 minutes later, you put on your moisturizer or your serum and it neutralizes it. So it's a very controlled way to exfoliate, whereas retinol generally tends to keep your skin shedding days after you use it. And it just creates a lot of unpredictable sensitivity. So yeah, bakuchiol and Hydroglow and our serum called Clarity, those two things, if that was your night routine, you'd be your skin would be wildly transformed in a week if you just did those two things as your night routine. And then I want to make sure everyone saw my tip here. For immunity and collagen synthesis, these are things you should supplement with. So vitamin C, obviously we know that that's for immunity, but it's also a necessary collagen cofactor. If you're not getting enough vitamin C, you are not going to age well because your collagen just isn't getting the raw material of what it needs in order to manufacture itself properly. So the brand we love is called Pure Radiance. It's amazing. I travel all the time, and when I take it regularly, I do not get sick. So I absolutely love that one. They have a powder. You can kind of put it in your water and it makes it a little tangy, or they have the capsule. You can get it on Amazon, and then you can take as much vitamin C as you want, really. You can take, 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams a day, and that's totally fine. For context, I think Airborne has 10,000 milligrams. So don't worry about taking too much vitamin C. That is one where it's kind of the more the better. And then also L-lysine. L-lysine is an amino acid that we have to get from an outside source, and it's a collagen cofactor. You've got to have it. So I learned that from an esthetician 10 years ago, and I take it religiously. And that's why I look 19.
Also, I just got alerted, guys, that Bright Me Up officially sold out.
Oh, damn.
I don't know if we sold it out on this masterclass because we were talking about how much we loved it. It'll be back really soon, guys. So I highly recommend, I'll post the link to it, but just sign up for the wait list and then we'll email you as soon as it's back in stock. It has been literally, I want to be flying off the virtual shelves, flying off. it did like better than we can ever, like we were obsessed with the formulation, but it's always really fun when everyone else is also obsessed with the formulation.
I know I've only been like using it since what, like July, and like it was crazy, or August even. I don't know when I started, but I saw a huge difference after a few days. So I'll post on my story when it's back in stock. Just text
Yeah.
me and I'll link it.
Damn, I can't believe it sold out that fast. I mean, I can believe it. Like, God, I wish I would have told the girl in our team who's in charge of ordering and forecasting. I should have just told her this is going to be a major hit. Order like 40% more than our typical opening order. Like, I knew it was going to be that big of a hit. Lesson learned. Next time when I have that feeling something's going to pop off, I'll make sure we order extra of it because it sold out like 2 months ahead of schedule. It's that good.
So our team has been working tirelessly. Like we knew it was going to sell out really soon. We've been working so hard to get it back in stock ASAP and rushing everyone. So, okay. Any last questions? I know it's getting late for everyone on the East Coast, and it's always like truly such a joy, such a pleasure, such an honor when we do these kind of later in the day, that all of our East Coasters that stay up with us. And so truly, like, it does not get unnoticed. We feel so grateful to be able to spend a beautiful evening with all of you. Truly.
Yeah. Thank you all. Thanks for the great questions too.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Greta. We love you. Big hug.
Love you
Virtual
guys.
hug.
Thank you for teaching me so much.